This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
You can find the song Padam Padam on any music app. But on the YouTube music app, you'll find this rare Padam Padam.
Show me power. Achieve my life. Yes, you there, I miss me, your body, I miss me, don't be late, don't be Ọlọ́run kò dàbí ènìyàn àárọ̀ nípín èèyàn ìbàdàn bí ọlọ́run wọ́n ìbá kéré kò bá sẹ́gbẹ̀ wọ́n ìbá ṣayé bá ti fẹ́ wọ́n ìbá torí ayé kòdò wọ́n ìbá sáfẹ́fẹ́ dòwó wọ́n ìbá ké kọ́rùn márùn jábì agbára ìbá pa wọ́n bí ọtí àwọn ìbá ṣínájú ìjà sọ ọlọ́run ṣọ́bẹ̀t ènìyàn àárọ̀ nípín ẹ má kú ìyàwó rẹ̀ ajá sáré owó jóná ẹlẹ́dá ìgbà débi èrò ní eré ló ní sí wa o ènìyàn fi ra ewé ọlọ́run àjẹrà èdè lélẹ́lóye erùpẹ̀ lásán ṣàlàjẹ́ irú ọlọ́run ní kò sí o ayé létí ẹlẹ́yà o bíbo lẹ fi tolúwa sí o òjò ló ṣú dẹ́dẹ́dẹ́ èmi ò máa mọ bí tó máa rọ̀ sí o lélẹ́lóye ènìyàn àárọ̀ níbí ọlọ́run bẹ̀ lóde àsọ̀rọ̀ máa yẹ ìwọ ká ló dá mi. Ìwọ kọ́. Àrò níbí ẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn kọ́ lóluwà o. Schwabert ló ń sanwó ẹ̀. Ẹ̀sìn sọ̀rọ̀ bí Ẹlẹ́dùmarè. Àsọ̀rọ̀ láyé ìwọ ká ló dàbí o. Jábì ayọ̀ ọmọ bàbá túlé. Ìwọ ká. Àrò níbí ẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn kọ́ lóluwà o. Ẹ̀yìn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run. Ẹ̀sìn sọ̀rọ̀ bí Ẹlẹ́dùmarè àsọ̀rọ̀. Ó yàtọ̀ bí dé máa gbọ́, ọmọ no go die unless tó bá darúgbó. Kọ̀mídé mo bá lọ ẹni rẹ ni. Àwòṣù ọbẹ̀ ajá ń sáré owó ń jóná. Ẹgbẹ́ ní orí 2.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see you all. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me make sure I'm on the right microphone. Let's change the microphone. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. All right, we have a good show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about KANDI Burruss and TODD, divorce, prenup, custody, threesomes, rise and fall. Sadly, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome back. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live, whenever we drop videos right here on Man of Prestige. And I will be right back. This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like Subscribe and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. All right, welcome back. Yes, welcome back. So yeah, today we're talking about, I'm going to be going through the stories of KANDI Burruss and Todd, what's his name? Todd Tucker, right? Todd Tucker. The divorce, prenup, custody, threesomes, so much in this story just in the last 2 weeks alone. So I've been meaning to come back here and talk about it, but honestly, I felt like I didn't have enough inspiration. Our audience here, most of us, probably 70% of us are in the abroad. Nigerians abroad, so sometimes I feel like you might not be interested in stories like this, but it's never really about the story, it's about the lessons. So this was, it's inevitable. I don't care if it's one person involved in it or interested in this story. I was going to cover the story anyway, okay? Because over here, we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics, okay? From trendy topics, we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics, and we tackle them from a self-power, social seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence standpoint. So, and I know most of you are doing westernized type relationship, even if you live in Akure. I know most of you are doing that. So sometimes you're in denial about it, but that's the reality. All of you want to do Igbo stuff, but you want to be traditional when it's comfortable, when it's convenient. But the reality is that some of the stuff they're dealing with here, maybe with the exception of threesomes, most of you are going to deal with it. Well, not the threesome, but everything beyond the surface of it. So yes, today we're going to be talking about KANDI Burruss. And some of you might not be familiar with who she is. That's okay. I'm going to bring you up to speed before we start diving into the lessons. These lessons ask everything you can think of in terms of in-laws, old lady in-laws, right? Prenups, threesomes, in-laws, and like I said, the rise and fall of such an open and honest marriage that most of you will swear up and down you got into because you ask all the right questions, right? But hey, the lessons are the lessons. So today I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just going to shed some light on some hidden stuff that you might not, maybe you haven't paid attention to. But again, who is KANDI? Who is KANDI Burruss? Okay. So KANDI is one of the most successful, what you might consider to multifaceted women in entertainment today. Okay, again, her name is KANDI Burruss. If you know her, if you've paid attention to her on TV, on reality TV show, she's built an absolute empire across multiple industries. Some people are claiming that she's not as rich as she looks like, but it doesn't matter. We all know who she is now. At least now you know, right? So KANDI first rose to fame in the 1990s as a founding member of the iconic R&B girl group Escape. They've given us hits like Just Kicking It. KANDI didn't stop at being a multi-platinum selling singer. Well, she's not she's a platinum singer. I don't think they did more than a platinum, but she's a multi-platinum, not just a singer, but okay, not the singer, but definitely a songwriter. Okay, she's also a Grammy Award-winning songwriter, the pen behind classics like TLC's No Scrubs. That song, right? That song was huge when I first came back into New Jersey back in the days, 98, the ending part of the 90s, So also songs like Bills with Destiny Child. She's responsible for 2 big hits that most of you can probably remember. So now for over a decade, she's cemented her status as a cultural icon, as a main cast member of Bravo's hit reality TV series, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, Alana. Beyond music and television, Kandi is a powerful businesswoman with a diverse portfolio, including the adult, toy, and lifestyle. See, you notice I whispered at that point. Lifestyle brand Bedroom Candy and several Atlanta-based restaurants like Old Lady Gang. Old Lady Gang. We're going to be talking about that. Now, from the recording studio to reality TV and now to the boardroom, KANDI Burruss embodies what it means to be a modern mogul. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to be unpacking a lot today. Okay. So, but sadly, today we're talking a little bit more about the fall of her relationship that she's has built in the last 11 years. Hello, Chidima. Good to see you, Chidima. It's Sunday. I know I will see you. Welcome, Chidima. All right. So, yes, we're definitely going to be talking about KANDI today. But that's who KANDI is, just in case you're wondering. So, she's married up to now, but they're going through a divorce with a gentleman called TODD. All right, so now let's get into it. There's a lot of stuff that happened over the last 11 years, okay? And I wanna kind of like go through a quick timeline, and then we'll get into some of the details, okay? Some of the timelines. So I'm going through some of the timeline that essence.com has on there right now. So just a little bit, just some highlights, you know. Well, remember I said she's also part of the group Escape, right? All right. So Escape was a group that was signed to the great what's his name? Now his name has escaped me. So deaf. Jermaine Dupri. Okay. All right. So but according to essence.com, April 2015, KANDI is seen carrying their son Ace. The couple were able to conceive him through IVF. Okay. So she got pregnant around about that time. But I'm gonna also go back to how they met. They actually met, I think they said they met in South Africa, right? So I'm actually gonna see if I can capture that part as well. But they had a baby, and then eventually they had a second baby that I think they did completely through a surrogate, you know. So let me see here, 2018, 2019, they were on the show throughout. So they've actually shown the public how they've actually progressed, at least in the public light, throughout the years. Okay. July 2018, Tucker was a supporter of her professional and business pursuits. Okay, they keep calling him a supporter. And feminists are going to get angry here. The woman is supposed to be the supporter, not the other way around. What is it supposed to be? But it's 2025. So if it's 2025, things are changing up a little bit. And especially if you see a man like TODD, who was actually toasted by the wife. Oh, yes. See, it's already getting messy. According to TODD, KANDI was the one who was actually interested in, I will play that video when we get there. Okay. She was one that was interested in marriage. Ladies, the lesson is done, they hit you. Bow, bow, bow. All right. Again, if the person you are to be with is the one initiating, if the person you are to be with is the one initiating, there's nothing wrong. Oh, it's 2025, I know, but just be ready to keep initiating for the rest of your life. Now, my personal opinion is that I don't think, if you're a typical woman, I don't think you have the capacity to continue to initiate for a lifetime. I think men have that, okay? Especially the men that have worked on themselves, they have that capacity because there are other things that a woman naturally brings to the table. But a man is a man, and you can call it the construct. You can call it part of the construct, social construct, whatever you want to call it. It's just what it is, right? So, and again, if you're going to swim against the trend, I just hope you know what you're doing. That's all I say. That's all. Just hopefully you know what you're doing. But anyway, she initiated in so many ways, you know. So I mean, look at this man. anybody would consider him and the beard gang, all of that. He looks like a manly man. He looks like a 6 foot. Look at him, right? That's a man, right? But you've had to be the one to toast him. And I hope you know what you are doing. Do me a favor. Let's ping everybody else into the room. Hit like, share, subscribe. Thank you. All right, so now let's get going. Again, that's a little bit of the timeline, but I want to get into some of the details of things that happened in the last 2 weeks since they made the announcement that they are going their separate ways. Okay. Yes, since they made the announcement that they're going their separate, a lot of things have happened since that time. But again, let's talk about how they met. Okay, let's talk about how they met. Again, since last few weeks, there's been issues about prenup, but that issue about prenup has been happening since one day before they got married back in 2014. So that's not exactly a new thing. Okay, so I'm going to go through, hopefully this is a good timeline that we can leverage here. Okay, so I'm actually getting this out of soapcentral.com, right? After 11 years, they are calling it quit, sadly. This is always sad. But you and I can get some lessons out of this. Some of the things we can avoid, because I know you're a lover person. You're a hopeless romantic. And you want to do this right. And you think marriage is beautiful. And one day, someday, you want to do it right if you haven't done it yet. Or maybe you're already doing it and you're noticing there's some friction, unnecessary friction you don't know what to do with. That's why I'm here, okay? To shed light on a couple of things. Then maybe you can take 1 or 2 lessons and use it in your personal life, okay? So now let's go through, according to soapcentral.com, a timeline, a look into KANDI Burruss and TODD Tucker's 11-year marriage. KANDI Burruss and TODD Tucker first met in 2011 on the set of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 4 in South Africa. At the time, he was the producer for the reality TV series when Burruss captivated him. In a 2014 interview with the Daily Dish, Tucker said, "I was trying to play it cool." That's Todd. He said, "I was trying to play it cool in Africa as it's against the rules to cross the line with the talent. The talent would be KANDI Burruss. In production, that's a big no-no." I loved her smile. She had a great what? That's a booty, I guess. LOL. She seemed very humble and genuine. However, KANDI Burruss shared in a conversation with Glamour that TODD Tucker unfortunately had to step down from his role when they decided to pursue their relationship. He did end up quitting the show. That was a big decision for him, and I quote, "He resigned, but then they came back and said they didn't want him to quit. He still works with the same production company, but he doesn't work on our show." Okay, that was back then. So the couple dated for 2 years and got engaged in January 2013. I think he popped the question though. In April the following year, they got married. He popped the question, but then whose idea was the marriage? That's the question. Now, at the time, the reality star expressed her affection for her husband through her interview with Gossip when she was asked how she knew he was the one. Wait, what? How she knew he was the one? I guess that's a valid question for a lady, right? Let's keep going. I don't want to nitpick too much, okay? We really enjoy being around each other. We have fun. He motivates me. This is KANDI as the man of the, no, sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I was about to say as the man of relationship, but no. This is KANDI as KANDI, right? We have fun. He motivates me. He's 100% supportive of me and everything I'm doing, and vice versa. I'm the same with him. He's very affectionate and he's good looking. Okay, so in 2013, we're getting through it. We're in 2025, right? In 2013, Burruss gave birth to their first child, Ace, who has been featured in the Real Housewives of Atlanta several times. The pair announced in 2019 that they were going to be parents again. And via surrogacy this time. In the reality program, the alum confessed that they were expecting twins. Sadly, the surrogate lost one of the embryos. Okay. And I quote, I was sad at first, but then I just had to be grateful that the one made it. She had it. You have this guilt and sadness, so it's a joyous yet interesting. All right. So that's just a quick speed up to 2019. We're getting through it, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what time is it? 5:25. I'm going to pay some bills, and I'll be right back. This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and #1 Red Ride, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. All right, welcome back. So why are we talking about KANDI Burruss and TODD? Because sadly, about 2 weeks ago, she's filed for divorce. Let's listen to this video on the Shade Room, and then we'll take it from there.
Says, KANDI, it's good to see you in good spirits with so much going on. I'm sorry about you and Todd. Okay, so yeah, I've been going through it. Life has been lifing me. Okay, I filed for divorce on Friday, and yeah, right now it's a pretty crazy time. Anyway, Ali says, will you do a speak on it about current news? Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. So that was the first time she would say publicly, I think this is some kind of Amazon show, Amazon Live, yes. And she said, yes, I filed for divorce, and she had been going through it. All right, so let's keep listening.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, eventually. And me being the Taurus that I am, I like to keep those moments to myself. When I was on Housewives, I really couldn't keep moments to myself when I got upset, so y'all would catch me crying. But in real life, you know, I don't really like for those moments to be shared with the world. I am up and down. And to be clear, yes, I filed Friday, but, you know, this is something that...
Okay, so she says she filed, and a lot of ups and downs as probably to be expected, right? But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Wait, let's keep going.
Has been brewing for a while. So all the times you be seeing me online like, all of that means nothing. I've been going through it, y'all. We'll talk about more of that later. I don't want to be sad right now. Ola Jones says,
all right, so that was the announcement that she made. After deep thoughts, she made another statement. Well, the statement she made before the video you just watched was this right here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, good. So she said, after deep thoughts and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. All right, so typical statement, PR statement, which is fine. But here's the thing, right? I'm starting to remember, okay, when I would come across my wife watching the show and I would watch some of the show with her, I stopped watching. Well, we all kind of stopped watching a long time ago now. But at that time, I remember some of the dynamics between the two of them. And I will speak more to them as I see other things that confirm that here. Okay. But I remember that it wasn't, you know, there are some little things you can pick up here and there. But again, naturally, when you're watching a couple with a big microscopic attention on them, if you're the kind of person that pick up little things, you start judging them. We probably all do that to a large extent. So I can't use that too much, okay? But again, let's keep going here. There's some issues here that I want to talk about, particularly with in-laws. We saw some of the in-law relationship dynamics between Todd and Kandi's mothers. You say mothers, right? There's a mother, but there's a mother that has a bunch of sisters. They call them the whole lady gang. You're married to a woman who has a mother that is a part of a whole lady gang. Now, to be fair to Todd, that has to what's the English I'm trying to say? That have to have been the hardest thing that he's ever done in his life. But we saw some of that dynamic on TV too. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about how to navigate in-laws. Because honestly, Yoruba people say ìyàwó burúkú, some are not burúkú. Just don't end up with the worst type of in-laws, because they will make your life miserable if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't know what you're doing. All right, so let's get going here. Again, we're talking about KANDI Burruss, Todd, the divorce. We still got to talk about the prenup. So custody issues going on, threesomes. All right, so let's keep going. Let me see here. So next on my list here, I have I think I have a video I want to play. Okay, let's see if we can pull that up. No, before the video. Okay, let's see here. There was the idea of quitting your job or potentially quitting your job because of a woman. I shouldn't say it that way. That was his wife. I didn't mean to say it that way. Okay, but quitting your job because of a lady you're about to get with, that's a no-no. Okay, and it's not, you have good intentions, I'm sure. Maybe it's not relevant to good. You found a lady that you really like, and maybe you fell in love, so you quit your job. Maybe you have other things that you could do and stuff like that. But the way it's being said, the way that story is being narrated right now just doesn't look good. And if that story is being narrated that way, it is also being narrated in your head as a man in that same way. Okay, these are some of the things that you will resent later on. Okay, it doesn't matter how perfect that relationship is, you will resent the idea of quitting your job because of love at some point. And there's a good chance you don't have the capacity to carry that resentment. And I have a very strong feeling that's some of the things that I thought I had to deal with. Now, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Speaking of the whole lady, what do you call them? The old lady gang. Okay, this is Kandi's mother. She was also a part of the show. So I'll try to avoid putting anybody who was not part of the show on the screen, right? But that was her. She was always in the picture somehow, some way. And he had to do, initially when they were getting married, they got married on a show that was broadcasted on Bravo. He had to deal with prenup issues, and he also had to deal with this lady along with her gang. Not a fun thing to be a part of. Let's keep going here. Okay, so now that's one of the three old lady gang right there. Not only that, they created restaurants off of their name after a while. So this guy didn't have much going on, it seems, right? Because then he had time to start partnering up with Kandi, because there's nothing wrong, right? It's just your lady, right? And if you're secured in yourself as a man, there's nothing wrong. You could partner with your lady, and you can just, she's the one making all the money. She's the money maker, and you can be the money multiplier. Yeah, that sounds so out of order, but I'll get back there. So KANDI Burruss discovered Todd Tucker was talking to what? To other women? All right. Let me just go into this. Right? So remember, there's prenup issues, right? We haven't really gotten through the prenup issue yet. But there's this exclusive on people.com, right? This exclusive came just a few days ago. I'm going to get to that in a second here, but there's another exclusive that was on that I found on Us Weekly, okay? And I think I want to also cover that one as well. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up right now. Yes, on Us Weekly. Okay, Real Housewives of Atlanta alumni or alum KANDI Burruss, ex-Todd Tucker demands primary custody questions prenuptial agreement. So let's get into that. Okay. So remember, Kandi filed for divorce. Okay. Nothing new. 70% of divorces are initiated by women in the Western world. We men, we resent it. We can't stand it. We're both hurt about this idea because at the end of the day, you signed up for a lifetime. Hey, babe, we signed up for a lifetime. So why would you just get in the middle of life and then decide it's over, right? I know in the future, someday we will have the type of contract where it can expire every 2 years and you can renew it like your driver license. I know we're all talking about that, right? All of you want to have your cake and eat it too. I get it, right? But we're not there yet. And since we're not there yet, and you chose not to wait until we get there, so you signed up for this thing called marriage, and then 2 years later, okay, this one is not 2 years later, this one is 11 years later, right? But 11 years is very small compared to a lifetime, right? And then you decided that it's over. I get it. You want your cake and you want to have it, but don't worry about the man's narcissistic controlling behavior yet. We didn't get there to that part yet, okay? Plus, why did you assume that's the case? Okay. Anyway, so we have Us Weekly is reporting. It says Real Housewives of Atlanta alum KANDI Burruss, estranged husband Tucker, is demanding primary custody of their 2 kids in divorce court. You want to get a woman angry, try to take her children away from her. You want her, I know, in your fantasy, in your fantasized world, your idea was like amicable. We're going to do this amicably. Nobody has to get dramatic. We're just going to go our separate way. You do your day, I do my day. Right? After all, we're adults. That's what we're supposed to do. But see that woman that's talking right there? It's like, oh, me to have sense. I can think logically like a man. Think like a man. Shout out to Steve Harvey, right? That woman, you want to get her angry and stop thinking like a man or stop being logical, just try to take her children away from her. No. Yesterday, you're right. 2 days ago, she told you, doesn't have to be, we don't have to contest anything. We're just going to go to court and everybody's going to be happy and live happily ever after. Marriage is not do or die. Again, try to take her children away from her. Not just that, don't stop there. Go to court and file a petition or a response to a petition trying to take her children away from her. So what do you mean? So we can't file for custody? Well, you can file for custody. What we're talking about here is primary custody. Also, even if it's 50-50, right? Anyway, on Wednesday, November 26th, Tucker filed a response to the divorce petition that Burruss filed. He said their 2 children are currently in his care and residing within Georgia, while Burruss, 49 years old, handles out-of-state work obligations. Oh, because one of the drama that I saw on one of the most recent clips from that show is actually Todd bitterly complaining that Kandi has not been around, has not been available to the family. I'm just paraphrasing, but something to that effect. Okay. Now, according to Us Weekly, Todd, 52 years old, noted Burruss' work obligations, and I quote, will continue to require her to be away from the children for at least the next several months. So if it's just several months, you're asking for primary custody for just several months? Forever, ever? Which one? So he pleaded for primary custody. His filings noted, and I quote, the parties have been working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all issues, and Todd remains committed to continuing those discussions good faith. Now the question is this: did they share this information with Kandi before? Say, hey, just let you know, babe. Maybe they stop calling themselves babe. I'm about to let you, so you know, I'm about to file this paperwork. Did they agree on this before he submitted it as a response? Your guess is as good as mine. Probably not. So of course, Kandi is probably going to bust that into some tears and like, how dare you try to take my children? How could you try to take my children away from me? Anyway, but you were being logical like 2 days ago. Amicable, everything is going to be resolved amicably, no issues, right? He's committed to working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all issues. All of that sounds good on paper. Trust me. Anyway. Are we there? Are we there yet? No, not yet. Not yet. So Todd said, in the hopeful, unlikely event that they are unable to reach a custody deal, he will be seeking primary physical custody. So he's not asking for that upfront, but he's kind of asking for it. I'm not sure. I'm just reading from us quickly. He'll be seeking primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and final decision-making authority. He proposed that KANDI, and I quote, KANDI having substantial time and meaningful access to the children. Okay. Then his lawyers praised KANDI as a mother. His filing noted that Todd wishes to make it clear that he recognizes KANDI as a loving and capable parent. That's called patronizing her, and remains sincerely hopeful that prior and continued discussions between the parties will bring full resolutions for all matters. Again, it looks good on paper. These kind of things in real life, they don't look good. It doesn't look good. This looks like a lot of drama. Okay, and again, you know, they're public figures, so they're going to be reading all of these comments, and no matter how much they try not to let it affect them, it's going to affect them. So Todd Tucker admitted that he signed a prenuptial agreement before getting hitched. I'm going to play a video of that for you in a second. Before getting hitched on April 4, 2014, but suggested he was pressured into signing it without his lawyers around. There's problems. So when you chop breakfast, there's problems. It doesn't just go away. I know many of you fantasize now. You know, some people say, no big deal. You just get married. Feminists be like, you just get married. And then you wait about 5 years and you just file for divorce, right? You know, and then you make everybody happy and everybody just go away. You did your day, I did my day. Good luck with that. Again, you signed up for a lifetime with the person and then you call it quits. I agree. It should be, marriage is not a do or die. Just let it go. In fact, I advise all my brothers all the time. If you know one do, you know one do too. If you know they're in the mood, you two know they're in the mood all of a sudden. Why? Because you have self-respect. Okay, it might be tough. It's easier said than done, but you have self-respect, and there are options. You might not see right now. Yes, it will hurt, but you have to let go. It has to be a mutual thing. You have to want to be there together. Okay, it doesn't mean it will always be rosy, but overall, it has to be something you want to do. If somebody wants to go, let them go. Let them go. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision, but you can make it a permanent decision if you're holding on tight to them and you don't let them go, because that feels like a true bondage. Let's keep going. However, Tucker's lawyer said the agreement was presented, the prenup was presented to Todd without Todd having counsel, even though KANDI, then counsel, had communicated previously with Todd's team regarding a potential prenuptial agreements. This is going to get very, very dramatic. We're only 2 weeks in. Just 2 weeks in. They're only 2 weeks in, and this is already super messy. All right, so let's see here. Now, despite that knowledge, and I quote, despite that knowledge, KANDI's counsel presented the final agreement to Tucker for signature immediately before the wedding ceremony. So let me see if I can pull that up. Right about now. Before we do that, it's 5:44. Let me pay some bills and I'll be right back. This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. All right, welcome back. So let's play this video, and you can see this is the one day before the wedding. Now I will stop it at every 15 to 30 seconds because I don't want them to flag the video for copyright. Okay.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Okay, you can hear that. Okay, I'm going to dissect this every other second or so. It said, nice to meet you. He's about to sign a prenup with a team of people coming into this. Now, this is the video that allegedly KANDI is presenting as the proof that he did not sign this prenup under duress. Okay. Now, in the first place, gentlemen, of course, this is your responsibility, right? You can't just be signing stuff with people that you're meeting for the first time. A legal document, you can't do that, right? But let's keep going. They might say, "Oh, no, but his lawyer was there," but the lawyer is saying his lawyer was not there. Okay, I don't think they will say that if they know that it was filmed. Let's keep going.
Okay. Marjorie's my notary.
Okay.
Reagan is going to be one of the witnesses.
The notary?
The other witness.
One of the witnesses, there's a bunch of witnesses that he did not know.
I decided to sign a prenup against my lawyer's advice.
Against his lawyer's advice. That sounds like you're responsible for signing this, but let's hope, because again, it's about the weights. Was it under duress? Was it against the lawyer's advice? Which one was heavier? What influences were you under? Were you smoking? Let's keep going.
In the end, I know all this legal stuff is not going to keep me from being with KANDI.
Oh, at the end, the influence of being with KANDI was the major thing on his mind. So guess what? He's ready to pull out a pen.
Any of these on the day of the wedding?
I have done a couple.
Yeah.
All right, I'm rolling.
Okay.
How old was Todd at this time? Todd is now 52 years old. This was 11 years ago. So he was 41 years old or somewhere about that, 40 or 41 years old. Was he old enough to know that he shouldn't be signing stuff like this? Yes. Would the courts be like, no, your lawyer was not there, so you're not responsible for it? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, right? I doubt it. I don't know. It depends on the kind of document. There's certain states where you're required in certain documents that you should have a lawyer to represent you. And if not, it will water down the document. So I don't know. I don't know the details of how this works. I know certain things when it comes to real estate. But in this kind of prenup stuff, can this prenup stand? I also know that prenup, no matter how strong it is, can also be cracked. You just have to have a strong enough lawyer and a strong case. And a strong case don't fall out of the skies. They're not natural. Sometimes it's the right lawyer that will cook a strong case. So this is not the end of this. It's been 2 weeks. I've been meaning to talk about this, so I said, let's talk about it today.
Okay, ready. This is a video recording of the execution of the prenuptial agreement between KANDI Burruss and Todd Tucker. You acknowledge?
Well, it's being filmed on a national TV show, and then you are talking to a video recording at the same time. I mean, obviously, there's 2 layers of video recording here. Will a judge look at this and be like, "What are you guys doing? What do you think you're kidding here?" Right? Okay, this was a staged acting. Okay, he did not have his lawyer there. That's what they're claiming today.
Had a sufficient amount of time and opportunity to fully consider the prenuptial agreement and to request changes to the prenuptial agreement.
Yes.
Can we at least have 1 black people in the room when he was signing this? Maybe it was just KANDI by herself.
You understand that you're giving up your rights to periodic alimony, lump sum alimony, alimony, and
You understand you are giving up your rights for what? What?
changes to the prenuptial agreement.
Yes.
You understand that you're giving up your rights to periodic alimony, lump
Periodic alimony, you're giving up your rights?
sum alimony,
Lump sum alimony?
alimony in kind, attorney's fees,
What?
and rights to periodic alimony, lump sum alimony, alimony in kind, attorney's fees, and expenses of litigation.
Attorney fees, expenses of litigation. The only reason why they're signing that this nigga was broke at this time. Do you have to marry a KANDI?
Property settlement, equitable distribution, and community property.
Keep in mind, we're talking about this today. It's been 11 years. They've been in the marriage. They have 2 kids together. They have 4 kids in total because it's somewhat of a blended family. He brought 1 child. She brought 1 child. They built a life together. They built businesses together. But real estate together. But now they ended up in a place of divorce. And now she filed for divorce. And then he's trying to say, don't enforce a prenup that I signed with my eyes wide open. Is it fair? Sorry, when I say fair, which side are you on? Is it fair for Kandi to crack this prenup open? Do you think it's fair that Todd will be in a marriage for 11 years and she's going to have to walk away with nothing? I know I sound crazy, but that's what we're dealing with. Let's keep going. Yeah. We'll go now. Uh-oh. Let me make sure I'm still live. Am I still live? I think I am. What happened to the video? Okay, here we go. All right, let me refresh the video. Hold on, guys. Playing this from Twitter. Okay, it's not loading it for some reason. Let me see if I can get it back up. But again, I think we got the full gist. He signed this. Am I still live? Let's see here. All right, let me go ahead and put this. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, I think because of the video, we'll be back. Just gotta wait a little bit. Am I still live? Am I live? Let me see. I'm live, actually. Yeah, I'm live. I don't know what happened here. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, I might have too many screens open. All right, let's see, share. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. Hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I don't know what happened. All I know is that everything hung. But hey, technology, right? Hmm. Technology. Let's see if we can get back to speed. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified because I do this all the time. All right, let me see. So I do this kind of. All right, good. Let's see if we can get back. So I do this kind of content all the time. If you are getting value out of this, please do share. Hit the like button. Thank you. All right. So make sure you are a part of the family. The split views makes it even to multitask. What? I think Chrome might have been pushing out an update in the middle of my show. I don't know. It's kind of weird that they would do that. But we're back. We're back. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. All right. So we were busy. We're talking about KANDI Burruss. We're talking about TODD. We're talking about TODD signing a prenup under duress, even though they read to him clearly that you're about to sign your life away. But again, it sounds crazy because he's supposed to be the man in that equation. And this is why I want people, if you want to push against social construct, make sure you know what you are doing. Okay. When I say know what you're doing, it's not as simple as you can think, you have logic. It's not as simple as any of that nonsense. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about you understand the level of emotions that you're bringing into the situation. You're falling in love, you're about to marry a person, you're not thinking straight, and they put a camera to your face and they say, record yourself as you sign your life away. That's what we're talking about. All right, so this was the video we were watching. Let's see if we can continue.
Yes.
Sorry
You
about that.
understand that
Sorry
wife
about
may
the
dispose of any other
technology
separate
issues.
property as defined in the prenuptial agreement without your participation or signature.
Yes.
You believe that the provisions of the prenuptial agreement are fair, just, reasonable, and equitable.
Yes.
He believes fair, just, reasonable, and equitable. He said yes.
For signing the prenuptial agreement freely and voluntarily without coercion.
So maybe he will be able to crack open this prenup. But one thing I can guarantee you that it's not going to be easy. Okay? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a battle. They have a uphill battle in front of them. And what's going to make it worse is the fact that they probably talked a little bit and say, yes, we're going to keep it clean so that we don't drag our children. And then everybody have to protect their interests, right? No, you don't just sign away. You have to protect your interests. You hire a lawyer. He's probably doing that for the first time. Because at that time, he claimed, just at the wedding, as they were building the stuff for the wedding, he was saying, my lawyer said this, they called my lawyer, they're not answering my lawyer, all this kind of stuff. But somehow, he has a camera to his face, and he's signing his life, at least the next 11 years of his life, away.
Coercion or other undue influence by wife or any third party.
Yes.
There have been no threats of bodily or other harm or other actions against you amounting to coercion, compelling you to act against your
There hasn't been any kind of coercion. He's about to say yes.
free will to sign the prenuptial agreement.
No.
Todd, do you have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, I just want to sign my life away. Todd, are you sure you want to sign your life away? Yes, I'm ready to sign my life away, my next 11 years of life away to KANDI Burruss, so that
You're just ready to get this over with?
Yes.
wow.
Okay, you're done.
I'm good.
So with the camera to his face, ladies and gentlemen, yes, he did it. All right. So what are we talking about today? So there's prenup, right? There's the whole lady gang. There's in-law issues. He married into a very strong matriarch type of arrangement, and for the longest, I mean, how old was KANDI when she married this dude? She's 49 now, so she must have been around 38 years old. That is a seasoned woman who was a single mother. Okay, so she was part of the matriarch too. She was part of the old lady gang. You married into that kind of situation. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, Make sure you have wise counsel. You need to know, make sure you know what you're doing. Okay. So now again, she's 38. 38. Okay. Watch this video. Listen to this video. Who toasted who? Let's talk to the ladies for a second, right? Say, you're just equality. You're just as good, if not better, than a man. So why can't you just propose to a man if you really like him? If he's a fine man like Todd, what's wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. At least not in that moment. It's 11 years later.
Nah, I just thought she was cool. I was like, she's cool. She's real chill. Like, I like her little energy. She got big booty. Ow.
She got big booty.
But nah, it wasn't. Yeah, the marriage thing didn't come to the prayer thing and her telling me to make a decision. I was like, oh, I like that shit. That shit is hot.
Well, let's
Who do
be
you think
clear.
she is?
Well, I mean, come on. I didn't have time to be playing games with you.
Oh, see? The truth came out. She didn't have the time to be playing games. So why not just propose? No, it's not direct proposal, I know. Just suggestion. Like sort of kind of like a suggestion, like I don't have time to play games, you know. So at least you're hinting that, hey, I'm marriage minded, right? Yes, you should be marriage minded, but should you be the one to be forwarding it to the man? Indirectly, directly. Does this have like is this such a bad thing, right? Something wrong with it, right? Nothing.
What do you think about marriage?
This was on Black Love. They were on Black Love at one point. Yeah, they were on Black Love, just like Remy Ma and Papu. Just like some people that have been on that show that were doing Black Love. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Black Love. They were trying to celebrate love so more people can get married and build generational wealth, legacy, you know, those nice things that comes with family, you know. Somebody said, dang, Todd thought he was the prize. He thought it was the prize. They're pulling this off 2 weeks later. Can you imagine? Todd says he wasn't thinking about marriage with Kandi. Prime example why you can't give lames a chance. Don't call him a lame. Don't do that. Everybody's trying to do equality. Remember, we're just trying to make sure that this thing is equal. Mama Joyce was right. Opportunist. He played the long game. Gentlemen, remember, you'll be held accountable. Right? You like to be proud that you're held accountable only. Women are never held accountable. Well, that's why you should watch your steps before you take that step. The correct answer was, I was happy to marry her. She's wonderful and I love her. Not whatever he just said. He didn't know any better. That's why they just called him a lame at 41. But Kandi, did Kandi know any better? No, I know it's not competition. I know. I'm just asking. You know, it doesn't seem to love her like she loves him. Did she really love him, or did just wants to get married? That's another angle. Or she just wants to get married at 38. Anything. He's a fine man. He seems like he has his head on his shoulder, straightforward guy. He tells the truth. As he sees it is how he tells it. Like, for example, this truth he just told us. That, it was our idea, right? Wait, what?
Nah.
The truth was, let's call a spade a spade.
I just thought she was cool. I was like, she's cool. She's real chill. Like, I like her little energy. She got big booty. Ow, what's up?
I like the booty at 41. There's nothing wrong with it. It just depends on everything else, okay?
You know what I mean? But nah, it wasn't. Yeah, the marriage thing didn't come to
the marriage thing. Disrespect. Marriage don't collect in the hands of millennials. The marriage thing did not come. What?
The prayer thing and her.
A prayer thing. Ladies, you're marrying a person who says a marriage thing, a prayer thing. This man was hanging around single. Yeah, he was a single father too. He had a daughter until 41. Still saying a prayer thing, a prayer thing, a married thing. That means to him, it's like, all those things are not really a big deal. If you want it, I want it. If you don't really want it, then screw it. Okay.
Her telling me to make a decision. I was like, oh, my.
Ultimatum. Make a decision, Kandi. Kandi said, no, she didn't say it that way. She was softer. She was smiling and giggling, right? Maybe a little bit of cry. Right? Make a decision. If you do not decide, I'm gone, right? And of course, like, oh, I like that.
That shit is hot.
Well, let's
Who do
be
you think
clear.
she is?
Well, I mean, come on. I didn't have time to be playing games with you.
No time to be playing games with him. I mean, can you really judge? You can't judge her for that, right? But there are consequences for these things, okay? Is that what led down to a marriage breaking up at 11 years? I mean, they tried, they gave it their best. You know, I don't know. This is just one of 1,000 different things. But this one thing is a good indication of how they move. Is marriage thing a prayer thing? Is a marriage a prayer thing? You know? I mean, that tells you a lot. Maybe not everything. You're right, not everything. But it tells you a lot about where some people stand when it comes to the serious business that we call marriage. Yeah. Serious business that we call marriage. So this thing is stressing Todd out. I'm telling you. Look at him. Look at the gray hair, man. This man is getting old. Stressing him out. This whole thing. It's not fair. It's not fair. You sign up with a man for a lifetime. Stay there, ladies. Endure. I didn't say it. The men want you to endure. Me, I think you should enjoy. If you can't enjoy, I think you should take a step back to figure out what you want to do. Okay. But I'm telling you, it's not as easy as running away from a marriage either. It's not that simple either. All right. So I don't want your money. No, that's not how he said it. A day before their wedding. He said, I don't want your fucking money. I don't think there's going to be no wedding. So at one point, he was actually pissed off because Kandi was like, wait, my money, bro, my money. No, you need to sign a prenup. You're not signing a prenup. We're not moving forward. She insisted. Another type of ultimatum, if you will. So what do? Well, don't put yourself in a position where you have to deal with an ultimatum. How about that? Okay. Don't put yourself in that position where you're dealing with ultimatum. There's a couple of videos here that I think we should play, of some conversation. There's always been this dynamic between them, but something about money, finances. As a matter of fact, I wonder, because many of you think there are 3 causes of marriages breaking apart. The first one that comes to your mind is infidelity, and none of you leave after infidelity. You're liars. None of you actually leave a marriage because of infidelity. You might leave as one of the things being infidelity, maybe after 0 cheating, but someone cheated and you left. No, you're lying. None of you do. No, it's my deal breaker. It's a deal breaker to shut down and stay in that house. Yes. Sometimes you shut down, you stay in that house and you punish each other. Yes. But to actually leave, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's outright bold-faced lies. So now the question is that, was it finance? Was it because Kandi is richer and she won't share her money? No, this guy. So they started having this conversation, some kind of podcast that they were doing, and they would talk as they were doing their hairdo. I want to play some of that. Maybe we can pick 1 or 2 things from this one. Says, the caption on this one says, why was Todd always, hold on 1 second. Why was Todd always so pressed about combining their finances? Your guess is as good as mine. Lesson, I want you to walk away. Don't put yourself in a position where you are desperate for marriage. Number one, you stay too long hanging out in the street thinking that God's time is the best. You are still right. God's time is the best. But sometimes what you're calling God's time is just you and your bullshit. Okay? And you're not willing to be accountable to the fact that you've been hanging around for a couple of decades and you're not married, in spite of the very fact that you actually want to get married. I'm not talking about people that don't want to get married. So don't come with not everybody's supposed to get married. I already know that. Me, I know that. As a matter of fact, I think half of you should stay away from marriage. I'm talking about those that really want to marry. They've actually put some kind of effort into it, but it hasn't worked. But they're not willing to say circumstantial I need to look at the situation. I need to have somebody look at the situation, see maybe I can learn one or two things. Maybe there's an area of improvement. What they do is they're in denial and they come out into the internet street to come and tell us, remind us what we already know, that not everybody is supposed to be married. I was not talking to you. I'm talking to people that want to be married, but you've been hanging around for a couple of decades, but it's not happening. Okay, maybe you can pinpoint one or two things, but you feel like somebody can look at this for you. Those are the people I'm talking to. Okay, so if you're hanging around for so long in the streets and you want to be married, yes, you're going to put yourself in a position where you'll be desperate, or even if you're not desperate, people would think you're desperate. Every small move every small mistake you make, they think you're desperate. Whereas all of us make mistakes in life. But guess what? You know who's allowed to make mistakes? Younger people, because they got time. They got time, but even them, they don't have time, because when you stay around and you're hanging around, you're making all those mistakes, you're collecting traumas. You're collecting woto. There's no free breakfast. You pay a price for it, and that price is not always tangible. Sometimes it looks like this, where somebody is saying, "Hey, I'm 38, I got no time." So now you're like, "I'm not being coerced." No, but really, no, it's not really. It's not a real ultimatum. But no, I'm about to sign a prenup at 38 and 41. A prenup that was never really properly assessed. I didn't even have money for a lawyer to look at it. I just like, yeah, just gonna sign it. 11 years later, you're still as young as 52 and 49, and you're going through divorce. And now it's dramatic. And your young children, they now have to see all this mess because they're smart enough to see what's going on. That's what we're talking about. Those are the lessons. So first lesson, don't put yourself in a position where you will be perceived as desperate, or you're desperate, or you're actually desperate. Same thing. Perception is reality, because you do not live in a cave. Social intelligence. Other people are looking at you, they're assessing you, they're making a judgment. Their judgment of you will have an impact, will influence your judgment. Don't put yourself in that position. And if you're already in that position, well, good news. You woke up today. You have another chance to assess things and see how you can make it better for the rest of your life. But if you're in denial, it gets worse. I promise, hala, it gets worse. Let's listen to this video.
Of course, I don't think it's right when men be trying to take half of the women. I don't think it's cool. Like, I feel like a man should always be a man and be able to handle his own or whatever, right?
She doesn't think it's fair or nice when the man is trying to take half of the woman. Wait, what? That's something that the manosphere would typically say. Why is Kandi saying that? Jesus Christ.
So, if
so you gained your money while the man was with you, and he nurtured you, he helped you, gave you ideas, he was a part of that, that progression. You don't think he should get anything? You did it.
That's all right either.
What is it? Nobody said she did it all.
Well, no. I'm just saying, you with your husband right now, right? So say he's like, you should do this.
He's like, boom, boom, boom.
Let's work on this. Like he's setting you up. He's organizing you. He's getting your shit right.
You sound like a Wendy Williams situation.
Not the Wendy Williams example. She said, you said like a Wendy Williams situation.
Oh, I don't really know that thing, but I'm just saying that he helps you blow up.
I'm saying because he was like her manager, right?
He helps you blow up. You became KANDI Burruss because you were not as popular as this 11 years ago, right? I helped you. He didn't say I, but he was saying if a man, hypothetically, just in case a man helped you, he helped you blow up. So you don't think he deserves anything?
No, I'm just saying someone who like really influences, who's really there, who really helps the brand get to where it needs.
I'm not really talking about me, but there's a big old but, like a big old booty.
So now you blew up. You wasn't blown up. Now you blew up.
Kind of like how Steve Harvey say he is now with his words.
Why? Like they added value to the situation, basically.
Yeah, like when I met you, you was maybe making a couple of $100,000.
Oh, you came in. When I met you, you was what?
Now you're making fucking $4 million a year. And
okay,
he's been contributing to your success.
Okay, in that case, if they choose to get a house together, but once again, still in marriage, I would not do it if I was not married to the person, because that's what we're saying, right? Is this the topic?
No, yeah, not if we're not married.
If we're not married, now I can understand what you're saying. If the person is adding value to the relationship, and then they build it up, and that's to me, and that's another thing. what I'm saying.
Let's just equate it to us. Let's equate it to us.
I'm
That's
about to
easy.
equate it to us. What I'm saying is, when you and I
I mean, they finally said it. Let's equate to us.
got together in marriage,
Right.
and we made more businesses, we made more, there were
Right.
more things happening.
Right.
To me, the money that was made after marriage, that's a different conversation, because we both contributed, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the money I had when I came in this thing,
But nobody's talking about. Nobody's.
No,
even,
but
that's not even part of the conversation.
no, but
Whatever
it
you-
is to me, because when
But
you're
that's not
talking
our-
about
She's saying I had some money before I came into the conversation, the marriage. And this man is sitting here arguing with her and actually saying, let's equate to us. It just, if I didn't see this conversation when it was going on, I would have been like, wait, somebody find Todd for me. This conversation is not going to go right. Back off. That's your wife. Her money is not your money. No. Okay, you're right. Her money, okay. You know what I mean? Her money is not your money. You know how I say, her money is our money, but your money is your money. Women will say, your money is our money, but my money is my money. You can't flip it. You're buying into the equality bullshit. It's not real. It's not. Whatever the social construct is today, we all subscribe to it, directly or indirectly. And if you're going to swim against that trend of an ocean, make sure you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to drown.
I never expected it.
Hey, Natu, good to see you, Natu. Natu, welcome. You're going to drown. You're going to drown. Yeah, this man was lost, but hey, now he's fighting to crack a prenup open. Let's keep going.
about going into a house or a property, because that's what our
What about, let's hold KANDI accountable too. Really, how? Tell me how. I'm all ears. Tell me how.
conversation is about, right? Buying properties together. It's like, if I used my money from
My
prior
money.
to
Every time he hears my money, he's like, she's selfish. She's selfish. She is selfish. Let's keep going. That's what Todd was saying, not me.
purchase it, meaning like this house, for instance.
Yeah.
No, I didn't feel like I should.
So a man can do the same thing. He can feel the same way. No, like, that's mine from before. You get your weight up.
We don't, gentlemen, directly, indirectly, that's not what I meant. It's just a debate on TikTok. It doesn't matter. You do not compete with women. The moment you start doing that, you're already lost. I didn't say, just start paying attention to it. Just start paying attention to it, okay? Don't argue with your destiny right now. Every time you find yourself indirectly, directly, but you say anything twisted backwards and it goes in the direction of competing with the woman, you're already lost. Let's see how this plays out.
So you feel that way? You don't.
You didn't put my name on the jersey, crib.
The part you're missing. Stop. Candy.
I didn't get
Candy.
offended.
Candy, you have to listen. Just listen.
What?
Listen for 1 second.
Even in divorce, I don't think it's right when men be trying to take half of the women.
Have you had any plastic surgery?
You know I have.
Well, I ain't want to be telling your business. I ain't want to be telling nobody's business.
I've had lipo, boot job.
What is lipo actually? Just so people know.
And they basically suck your fat out.
Right?
But
So,
yeah.
when it sucks your fat out, when it grows back, does it grow evenly, or do you find like pockets of fat that grow back well?
I personally feel like the baby's crying now. I feel like it just comes back.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely can come back. I mean, I know for a fact the first time I ever had lipo, which I really was just trying to get them to flatten out the little pooch that was like around my navel area. So, because I was like still skinny. After I had Riley, I always had like a little pooch that wasn't tight.
We spoke about that. I was saying like women, if they're into it, that they should definitely get the mommy makeovers or whatever, just so they can feel good, feel good in their skin, you know what I mean? Get back fresh. So you had a little lipo around the belly.
Yeah. And
so did you find out?
He curved my side. Well, where your love handles is. He curved out a little bit, like.
All right, so a lot of people are looking at this conversation. They're saying he never really liked that. I don't think that's the case, personally. Somebody said, "I hope this existential love she deserves and has longed for finds out lovingly and expeditiously." Somebody said, "This is very uncomfortable to watch. He doesn't love her, or doesn't like her. I pray she finds peace. It was opportunist from the very beginning." I can't tell that from this video. Maybe they know. Maybe they're fans. I can't tell that from this video. I see a couple having a comfortable conversation. She seems quite comfortable, But also the little bit I've seen of Kandi on TV, she seems like if she's not comfortable with something, she will speak up. So I don't know, but people are going to interpret what is not really relevant. Somebody said, "Wow, I've never seen this before. This is so embarrassing for a husband to try to embarrass or get a laugh with his wife on camera." Wow. Here's a lesson. I always say, men don't listen, women don't lie. Well, it's just a figurative speech. Bottom line is that if more than enough women feel like this is a problem and embarrassing, maybe take a clue out of that. Success leaves clue, right? Success leaves clue. I don't know them, but he low-key a hater, putting his woman on the spot. So I said he's a hater because he's sassy and wants to be the chosen one. Sadly, there are a lot of men like this who are jealous of women because they want to be them. Remember, perception is reality. If you're married to women who think this way, it doesn't have to be truth or lie. Don't put all your energy in trying to see what is truth or lie. Just listen to what they're saying, and if it doesn't make sense to you, well, make some sense. Okay, this is how they feel. They don't appreciate being put on the spot. Now, the fake masculinity in you might be like, okay, but so we should just know it's just social intelligence. Okay, this is going to be the least of your issues. You have much more stuff to worry about as a man, but some of you will probably not listen.
Think about marriage at all?
So I'm gonna be real with y'all. For y'all women who are bosses and have all of this money,
I'm gonna be real with y'all. For you all women who are bosses, and okay, so let's see where it's going with this. Okay, boss ladies, they're talking to you.
And got this extra shit.
Why say it like that?
No, because I think I understand the double standard, but I think you also need to understand the man that you're with, the man that you chose, and you're allowed to choose you. That you can't be so mine. You know what I mean? You have to open up within reason. I'm not saying
happy wife, happy life. You can be like happy wife, happy life. What happens to happy life, happy home? What happened to happy husband, happy house? Gentlemen, that's not going to work out very well for you. Try it. Don't argue with your destiny. Just try it. Okay, it's probably just going to get worse for you. So shouldn't we hold them accountable? No, it's not worth much. First of all, I have a good wife at home. Yeah, don't put me on the spot like that. Maybe you should find yours. But no, I don't have time for that. Okay, what you need to learn is how to move like a man, so that you don't have to worry about figure of speech like happy wife, happy life. You don't have to worry about if you marry a woman who was rich, right? That's a heck of an imbalance. You're gonna have to figure that out. Or hopefully you have wise counsel, because yes, she's going to move in a certain way that she's the boss lady. If you don't have the capacity, you don't have it. But if you end up in this kind of conversations a couple times too much, yes, you might end up in a divorce. Yeah. Yes, even though if you're a good guy, yes, a good guy with a good character, all of that. You follow Kevin Samuels and all of that. You're red-pilled. You try to do the right thing. You're a six-figure earner. All that bullshit. In spite of all of that, it doesn't add up. Okay? You're probably going to end up creating the opposite of sexual polarity. It's only a matter of time before she dumps your ass. Guess what? Rightfully so. I'm not talking about Todd, because I don't know the full details. But if we're talking about just this one thing I'm saying right now, rightfully so, because clearly you lack game and you don't know what you're doing. If she's in this conversation should have ended at the first 2 minutes. If she's talking about her money, I'm going to spend her money anyway. Okay. And her money doesn't make me. For some reason, I don't get to spend her money again. I make my own money. Okay. But because of circumstances, I'm married to somebody who makes more money than me. It's not really a big deal. It's a big deal for an average man. Don't get it twisted. Our ego is stupid like that. But it doesn't have to be a big deal if you know what you're doing. But for an average man, clearly like Todd, yes, it's going to become a big deal, and people will not be able to put it into exact words the way I'm doing right now. It's just going to be confusing. It's like, what's the big deal? Okay, I make my money, so what? Okay, so where's the problem? It's emotional. It's emotional issues. Okay, but guess what? You're probably going to be the person that will be like, let's put the emotions away from me. Let's just be logical about this. You got to listen. No, she's not listening. She is speaking. She feels like feelings. Precisely feelings. She feels like it's unfair for you to come into her life and be telling her how to spend her money. Well, I don't like when y'all be saying my. Well, she's saying my. What are you going to do about it? You're the man, right? What are you going to do about it? Let me guess. You're going to have some coconut head until everything falls apart. Is that your fault? No, it's irrelevant if it's fault or your blame. The result is what you should focus on. The result you have single-handedly, together, jointfully, is that a word? Created is what you're looking at. Deal with it.
Saying, going by no niggas, no Bentleys and doing dumb shit. But you got to invest in y'all and y'all future. And you got to let your man feel like a man in those scenarios.
You gotta let your man feel like a man. Red flag. Gentlemen, when that comes out of your mouth, suck it back into your mouth. You need a woman to make you feel like a man. Feel. That's it right there. You already lost. Why should there are many other men that enough, not majority, but enough men that feel like a man without needing the woman to make them feel like a man. She's a good-looking lady. Yes, quote unquote, she should do the right thing and stay with her husband for life. But she might not. It might not be that simple. Maybe this same attitude is showing up in other aspects of the relationship where you need her to make you feel like a man. Listen, ladies, it's true. You ginger us. You make us feel better. You make us feel more like a man when you admire us, loyalty, respect, all of that, right? Yes, but it should be a bonus. It shouldn't be the core. The same way, men, we are very quick in the modern men era to say like, happiness should come from inside you. You bring the happiness to the table. It's not my job to make you feel happy, even though that's a lie. But let's just assume it's a lie. It's the truth, right? In the same token, let's use that same logic. As a man, you need your woman to make you feel like a man. That's obviously coming from a place of weakness. That's not something we should celebrate. It can be a reality. Sometimes we're men, we're humans too, right? But I don't think that's something we should be highlighting like it's some kind of, we need to be careful with that. That's the point. We need to be careful. He just said it right there. And you can look at the face on the face that Kandi has on right there. I know she's doing a makeup, but that face looks like this man. The day I dump your ass with that bullshit talk, you need me to make you feel like a man. There are men in my DMs. maybe not. It doesn't matter. Okay. But this sounds like it sounds like nagging. Let's listen to it.
Because with all the money that you have, you can end up by yourself. You know what I mean? Because at times that type of energy of it's mine. No, I'm just being honest as a man. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Okay. As you continue to be like, it's mine, it's hard to hear someone say it's mine in a relationship that's supposed to be it's ours. Can I talk?
Your wife says, oh no, if it's mine, it's mine. I don't know who is at fault or who's wrong. I don't want to play that game today. Okay. But that conversation is not going well. I think me and you can agree that conversation is not going well. Now, you get to choose who you think is at fault. If you think Kandi should be a wife and not act like some kind of boss lady in the street, you're welcome to leave that opinion for me. I will happily read it, okay? And I will respect it as an opinion. If you think Todd should step it up, somebody said, men be with you and jealous of you. Ouch. Let's say that's a lie. Let's assume that's a lie. But that is a perception. It is truthful that is someone's perception. If you have 1, 2, 3, many people seeing that as the perception when you say these kind of things, yeah, that's a problem.
Can I talk? And it's not about, hey,
Time out.
10 million, let me give you 5. It's not that. It's more so just knowing, like, yo, we got each other, you know, whatever. Let's build, let's make it happen. But when you hear a person say mine a lot, that shit sticks.
It sticks.
Believe me, I'm telling you.
It's true. He ended up being right. It sticks. Now their marriage is over. It sticks. My. So what are you saying, Ola? Should you say my or not my? It depends. I don't know what angle you want me to come from. Okay, I promise I'm not trying to be on the fence about this one. You know, what angle do you want to come from? Women also have problem in general. Women also have problem when the man keeps saying my. Let's say you prefer that your woman stays at home and take care of the babies. But then every time a conversation about finances comes down, you say, but I pay the bills. That also stings and it sticks. And that also pisses women off too. It starts to make them feel inadequate. So very soon, you might start hearing that she wants to find a job because she doesn't like the feeling that she gets. Whenever she's hearing that my, she feels like she's dependent on you too much. Maybe that was okay in 1960. I wasn't here in 1960. But in 2025, that becomes an issue. If you don't know how to say hours, we did that. Hour. You have to like kind of get used to it. But when the woman is making the money, the same women who actually find it disturbing when you do that to your stay-at-home wife, as a working husband, that same woman will judge you. That's why I said don't play that equality game with them. Don't argue with them. Just be a man. Okay? And treat your woman with respect, of course. Okay? Make her feel like she's equal partner with you, right? It's a feelings that's necessary there. It's not really a real tangible thing that you have to touch, right? Because honestly, she might be the first one to be okay with staying at home and not working, right? She wants you to be a man, but she also wants to feel like she's equal. It's a feeling thing. It's an emotional thing, right? But if you try to play that game and you're like, well, you did this yesterday and you did that, and you start competing with your lady, she's going to multiply that for you. You can't win that game. What she's best at, her natural place is to multiply whatever you bring to the table. Don't ask her stupid question about what she brings to the table. So if she's bringing everything to the table, like in the case of Todd, seemingly, I see some reports saying that she's worth $30 million and Todd is worth about $400,000. If that is true, well, that's the perception of the public. Like I told you, perception is reality. When people talk about net worth for the half, more than 70% of the time, is not, nobody's counting anything. They're looking at their brand value in the internet space, which is the main media today. Okay? That becomes real. If that is true, so that means she's already made. Now, should you get to a woman that's making more money than you, there's nothing wrong with that. Everything will be wrong with it if you don't know what you're doing. Faster, 10,000 times faster.
So I'm gonna be real with you. You know, at least one guy every 3 months.
That's all.
If you're single,
No, I've never been single. That's not true at all, Ty. What you be thinking about?
What I'm saying is,
because you meet somebody, you kick it with them
that's what I want to really differentiate.
Candy, you gave me the. So I'm gonna be real with y'all.
I want to look at some of these comments here. Someone said he's insecure about the lady he's with because she's more established than he is, but he knew that before he married her. Very weird energy from him. You know, Todd would have needed a mentor. I think he needs a mentor right now too, a coach and a mentor. Some of these things that he's doing are powerful. Sorry, I mistakenly clicked away. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my God.
Even in divorce, I don't think it's.
Have you had any? What do you think about this though? I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Okay, all right. So I know for sure Kandi was picking up on his negativity. It's not just that. Again, the way you behave in certain things is how you behave in everything else. Okay, so it might not be this specific thing he's talking about right now, but it shows up. This attitude of always. Maybe it's not even, like I said, it's not necessarily a matter of fault or blame, right? It's just the reality of the dynamic of the relationship they created. He's always finding himself in a place where he has to compete with his lady. The result of that is never good. In fact, that's a major lesson we should take away from this today. So now he's having to be on the other side of prenup. The usual story is that men will have prenups so that women will not come and take advantage of them. But he's ending up on the wrong side of history here. And it's not going to pan out too well. Because especially there's cameras, there's videos recording him signing these documents. So even if he ends up winning and cracking that prenup open, yeah, it's just going to be bad because his children, they have children together for a long time, hopefully, right? I remember on their wedding series, they had there was talks of a prenup, and I can remember if he signed it in the end, but it was a point of contention. At that point in time, ideally, I know it was probably difficult. Ideally, he should have taken 6 months before he gets married to her. They should have cleaned that up completely. One day before that marriage, and that's a disadvantage to Kandi because she's the one with the money or the assets that needed to be protected. And marrying a person within 1 day of them signing a prenup is a no-no. It's a no-no. They can easily drag you in court for being under duress. Even if they don't win, they'll waste your time. It's just not good. Okay. And I expect people at 41 years old and 38 years to know that. Personally. Someone said, but she had a whole 20-year career before they got together. How is she supposed to speak about earlier parts of her life? That was passive aggressive and odd as fuck. Exactly. So you're saying don't talk about my. But he, to be fair to him, he said that's not even part of the conversation. That's not the point, Todd. I know, trust me as a man, I know that wasn't part of the conversation, but women mix everything together. Everything is, all the boxes are connected. It doesn't matter, everything gets muddy, okay? Well, here you are, you don't know that, of course, because you have to prove your point. You need to listen. She's not listening. But she can listen, she's an adult. I know, me too, I feel that way. But it's not gonna happen, bro. All right, so but hey, we're looking at this reality. Don't argue with your destiny. This is what's happening right now. A man needs to be a man on his feet. It's not about how much money she's making or how much his money is making. You can make your money, she makes her money. If she's already rich, keep that shit separate. If she's already rich, keep that shit separate and be a man in that relationship. If she wants to mix things together, it needs to be her idea. It cannot be your idea. If it's your idea, directly or indirectly, it's going to backfire. That's a promise. That's a guarantee. That's what we're looking at. Let's build. That's a baby mama favorite line. Sir, you come into a marriage already built. I wish they would leave that mindset in the trash. This is not relevant to what is going on here. You actually do build together when you're in a marriage. That's the reality. But again, another thing that becomes reality is how you talk. Okay? See what she's doing there. She's saying, oh, let's just do it separately. They're going to have an apartment separate apart, but they'll be married. It's bullshit. Okay? Your life is entangled up. And marriage is not designed that way. This is just another way to bastardize what was okay. If you don't want to be married, don't be married. Don't come into marriage and be bastardizing it with let's put that mindset in the trash. What mindset? That you build together? The reality is that you will build together. The reason why I'm talking at thought this way is because she's the man, but it's not really the man at the same time. It's a confusion going on here, right? That's why I'm coming at him. But no, like they should keep that stuff in his. No. He probably needs to kind of have that mindset as a mindset. It's not necessarily the reality. And if you don't like that you're helping your wife with making her brand bigger, then just leave it alone. Let her build that on her own. And then when she builds that, she needs ideas from you. She rub mine, she cries on your shoulder every night. That one is perfectly fine. After all, you're married. But in terms of the tangible financial aspect of things, she had been building before you, and you can't stand her making all this money and potentially saying my, then you need to allow her to say my, and let her do her thing, but just be her lover, because she's going to require and expect you to be her lover, a best friend, and a partner at the same time. And that's very difficult to do if you don't know what you're doing, especially if she's richer. And it's not her fault necessarily. She might she probably doesn't realize what she's doing. And obviously you don't realize what you're doing. The combination of those two is not good. And that's what we're looking at. Somebody said the truth is that no one besides them knows what was really going on in their marriage. That's true. What I'm learning is that you can also learn, listen, and hear what you want. Do I agree with how he's speaking? No. And it should have been done in private. That's true. He has a camera to his face. He also did not know that part. That's a good point. I would say that women have to listen with support. Black men have shared that when Black women reach a certain level, it is very hard to be with them because they will throw things in your face. Do I agree with this completely? No. But there is a bit of truth. A marriage is a partnership. It should matter. See, this is the setup right here. I knew this was coming. She's saying everything correctly, but like she's saying, there's element of truth and there's dangerous element in what she's saying. Because if a man buys into this, he's going to compete with you, and then he's going to look like a wussy to you. He's going to look like a man who doesn't know what he's doing, who is asking for permission to be a man. That's what marriage being partnership looks like, just in case you don't know. Okay, marriage by default is a partnership. Leadership and partnership are not mutually exclusive. They can live together. Leadership will be required when there are crises occasionally. Okay, when there's crisis, somebody will have to rise above the bullshit. That's not something you put on partnership. It's not going to work because somebody might be weak in that moment. Somebody has to rise. Okay, and if it's you as a lady that have to rise to the occasion all the time, how do you think that's going to play out? No, your answer is good enough for me. Okay, so a marriage is a partnership. That statement is true by itself, but again, when you listen to behind the scenes of where that's coming from, for the most part, I don't know about this person, it's dangerous for a man to buy into that, because if he plays that equality game with you, that's not sexy. Most women don't find that sexy. It's going to backfire. So the brothers need to know that there's a place for a man. They need to show up like a man first. And if you don't have it, he has to build the capacity to be that. And it's most likely going to come from a mentorship, coaching with a man. Not necessarily a father figure. More than, listen, we have options. It's 2025. Seek the wise counsel that you need. Because marriage being partnership is not going to be good enough when there's crisis. Because that's not what most women want. They want you to be a man. I'm not talking about you in particular, most women, okay? It shouldn't matter who was making the most money. If it were the reverse, woman would have a problem with the man saying, mine, exactly. But you asking a woman who is making more money to play partnership, men will be like, yeah, right? But no, we can't buy into that, because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work. Maybe it will work 50 years from now. Well, do you have 50 more years? You need to understand what's going on right now so you can navigate it properly. And then you create an experience that feels fair and just. The experience feels that way. It doesn't mean everybody is grabbing onto $1 million at the same time and pulling that. It doesn't mean that. It's purely feelings. Just people making the environment feel safe, secure, just, and fair for everybody. Feelings is what makes that feel that way. It doesn't necessarily. So if a man is start to playing that game with you, you're going to multiply it into chaos as a typical woman, because you don't feel safe, because it feels like a man who is jealous of you. It's a very complicated thing, I agree. But let's everybody just stay in their lane, okay? Everybody stay in their lane. Find mentors, people that have done this right. Don't worry about professionals. That's not what I'm talking about today. Find mentors that have done it for a couple of decades and they're doing it right. Listen, you don't have to know the granular details of their life. Just ask a few questions and be open-minded, and you will hear some things that will give you some insights. Don't it's really, when it gets down to it, it's about patience. It's about compromise. Compromise doesn't sound like fairness. No, like when you start to spread it apart, it's like, wait, I've been compromising. Then you start hearing things like, but I've been compromising. The other person is not compromising. See, doesn't sound like fairness, right? But you have to really, really get into that conversation a lot more deeper than that, right? So how can a thought come into that relationship knowing that this lady is worth millions of dollars? I'm talking about bills, no scrubs, worth of millions of dollars that comes in every other couple of years, right? In the form of more opportunities. She's on stages, she's an actress, she's getting exposure, there's all the other types of insecurity that will come into this equation, because there's also words that she caught him with, having conversations with other women, in an affair with other women, right? There's all those other things in this situation, right? There's the in-laws that are breathing down their nose, the old lady gang that won't let them breathe, that are after his balls, his blockers, all 24/7. There's all of that involved, but yet you're talking about partnership. Partnership is the routine, the day-to-day. Of course, it's a partnership. Of course, marriage is partnership. But we're not learning the right thing. Leadership is going to be necessary. Somebody needs to lead. Different layers of leadership. Okay, in real life, even in the corporate world, there's specializations, right? When it comes to labor, there's specialization. That's your specialty. This is where you're good at. There's strength, there's weaknesses. But yet, you guys are stuck on this partnership of a thing, which is the default. You don't learn anything by telling us that marriage is a partnership. It is a partnership by default. There's nothing special when you say that. It's a partnership. The problem that we have in society at large, not just marriage, is the scarcest. My English is not Englishing. The scarcest of commodities ever is leadership. Just people rising to the occasion and taking the initiative and say, hey, there's a place for improvement here. There's an opportunity for improvement here. This looks nasty, but it's an opportunity to improve. You know what everybody else is doing? They're running away from their problem and they're using English terminologies, stupid English terminologies like narcissism, like boundaries, and all these things are necessary. What I'm saying is that, do you dig deeper into what that looks like when it plays out in real time? Or you just sound good in your mouth. It just sounds good when you call other people names with those terminologies. You don't really take the time to see, hey, maybe you're playing a part in your reality. I know that feeling. Me too. It's easy for me to call everybody out on their bullshit. It's super difficult to hold myself accountable. I'm telling you, it's the same thing. We're all the same. So let's remind ourselves. She said it shouldn't matter who was making the most money. The problem is that it does matter. That's the problem. And that problem is not a real problem. It's an opportunity for you to learn how to mitigate that when that does happen. Because it might be making more money. It might be you married across the pond. It might be you married somebody from a different class of life. It might be you married somebody with something as simple as different personality. The same thing that created that sexual polarity is what you end up resenting when you get down into it. See, finish. You start taking each other for granted. This is inevitable in every relationship. There's no cutting around it. The only thing you can do is to learn how to mitigate the risk of this inevitable events. That's all you can do. Everybody should be an adult. What do you mean? It's a romantic relationship. They're all children in it. What do you mean everybody should be an adult? What are you trying to tell me? You're the adult? You're right. Anyway, so he's a fear man. Shows insecurity and jealousy. Gentlemen, this is what you're going to see out there. If you don't be a man first, or at least have friends in your corner that will help you continue to maintain your frame, yes, you will be caught insecurity and it will take on a life of its own. And if you go there and say, oh, he's not, and start arguing with your destiny, it becomes the reality because you're basically manifesting it. Okay. He was living in our shadows. I don't know why married are then. So I said, bye, Todd. Go and deal with your feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. It is harsh, and no one can make a man feel like he's not a man. That's true. That's true. But it's half truth. It's half a truth. I promise you, there's more to that conversation than that. The mouth, the lethal weapon that will call the mouth of a woman. It's not your mate. But that I just said is even more so true when you don't know what you're doing as a man. It gets worse. It gets really, really bad, especially when money is involved. So the question is, was it finances? I don't think so. It's never finances. It's never infidelity. It's never irreconcilable differences. It's two things. It's pride and unrealistic expectations. It's two things. It is pride. It's mismanaged, misplaced pride and unrealistic, mismanaged expectations. Those are the issues we're dealing with. When everybody settles into whatever they fell in love with, the true colors of everybody shows up. They become easy target for the adversary, the enemy. What's the enemy? Your feelings. Your feelings. Pride, unrealistic expectations. Yourself, you're your own worst enemies most times. I mean, it's getting worse and worse. The more books we read, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. Somebody said it was there for the come up. Oh, that person is feeling for him. That's a setup, gentlemen. Don't do it. Don't play that game with these ladies, okay? That's a setup. You were there for the come up. What does that mean? That's irrelevant. You should celebrate her if she's winning. That's it. You celebrate her. She's going to spend on you, guaranteed. If she feels good about your relationship, she will spend money on you. Most importantly, she will spend money on your children without asking you for it. Papa, it's leverage. It's not the main dish. And you should never make it the main dish. You move into the house, that one can cook it, but it's not that one. I promise you, that's not really the big deal. Okay? It's how you move on a day-to-day basis that becomes the real big deal. It's your consistency in your behavior that becomes the real big deal. It's how you show up on a day-to-day basis that creates the experience that's going to determine the result you get 11 years later. I was there for your come up. Don't say shit like that. Let women that want to support you, let them support you. Okay? But don't do that. Somebody will like, oh, but that's your ego too. Well, like I said, mismanaged, misplaced pride. A man still needs his pride. If, as a matter of fact, you wouldn't want him if he doesn't have his pride. But if it's mismanaged or misplaced, he's going to be playing this equality nonsense with you in the name of it's just an argument. It's not a big deal. Just be an adult. Why are you in your feelings? We had that conversation 2 days ago. Yes, she will be in her feelings because she don't trust you. She feels like you're jealous and insecure. Yeah, but you're not jealous and insecure. You missed the point. Feels like you're jealous. She feels. The key word is feeling. She doesn't care about anything outside of her feelings. She can use any words to support that feeling, to justify that feeling. It becomes your reality, and now you have to deal with that mess. Not just through this divorce, for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Divorce doesn't end it. It doesn't. Okay? This is just going to be another traumatic experience for them, sadly. It's sad to see. And I quote, "This is what I look like when I'm going through something." This is KANDI talking. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum wrote, and I quote, "I show up for my family. I show up for my friends. I show up to handle my business. And I show up with a smile, all while on the inside, I'm emotionally broken." So you think she's telling the truth? It doesn't matter. You're obsessed with your idea of the truth. You're looking at the reality in your face. That is a bigger truth. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about your reality? Would you rise above it? Abi, you want to wait for partnership? You want everybody to be adults first before you become an adult? That's all I have for you on this show today. Leave your comment. I really like to know what you think about this. Okay, leave your comment. If there's enough of it, okay, I will do a sequel. Okay, because that would tell me that you guys are interested in the conversation. But this TODD and Candy thing is not about TODD and Candy. It's about me and you. It's about our real life relationships, not just romantic relationships, business relationships, romantic relationships, parental type of relationships, your relationship with your kids. If they're above 7, that is a relationship. Do you know what you're doing? Or you're like, no, these kids these days are spoiled. It's your kids that are spoiled, not ours. Your kids are spoiled. I agree with you on that. Maybe you're one of those people that say, well, it takes luck. You have to be lucky. Really? You think so? Okay. Well, me too. I like luck. Send some my way. I like to be fortunate and to be lucky sometimes. I agree with you on that. But no, I disagree with you slightly. It's going to be a little bit more than just claiming it takes luck or anything like that. You have responsibilities. Your first responsibility is to acquire some skills. You need skills. When it comes to relationship, especially your romantic relationship, because there's no paycheck on Friday and it's going to cost you a lot more than losing the job will cost you. Because after all, you can find another job. But collecting breakfast, no be your mates. That will cost you a lifetime. You created children in that situation. You better know what you're doing. You need skills. Okay? No, you don't need the right wife. That is a stupid idea. Nobody has the right wife in the beginning. Okay? Nobody has the right husband. And I'm saying that with all due respect to people that might have feel like he was wrong, whatever. I'm sure there are some exceptions out there. But for the most part, people don't acquire the skills they need to navigate this thing we call life. Life is tough. Get with it. Get used to it. All right? Hopefully, you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.